Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome to the new lecture. Today in this video we will study another topic of chapter 4, that is photosynthetic pigments. Before moving into photosynthetic pigments, we will first know about pigment, that what is meant by pigment. What is pigment? What is pigment? The substance which absorb light energy. The substance which absorb light energy is called pigment. So photosynthetic pigment means that those pigments which absorb light energy during photosynthesis. And there are two types of photosynthetic pigments absorbing light energy during the process of photosynthesis. And these two types of pigments involved in photosynthesis are chlorophyll and carotenoids, also known as accessory pigments. So there are two types of pigments involved in photosynthesis. One is chlorophyll, which is the main photosynthetic pigment, and the other is an accessory pigment known as carotenoids. So first we will study the main photosynthetic pigment, which is chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is a complex organic compound. Chlorophyll is a complex organic compound which enables the plants to capture light energy and convert it into chemical energy. Chlorophyll is a complex organic compound which enables the plants to capture light energy and convert it into chemical energy for the formation or synthesis of carbohydrates or glucose or food. For the formation or synthesis of food, carbohydrates or glucose. So chlorophyll is a complex organic compound enabling the plants to capture light energy coming from the sun and converting it into chemical energy for the synthesis of organic food, glucose. Now, as chlorophyll is a pigment, so light absorption, pigment means it absorbs light energy. So chlorophyll absorbs mostly violet blue, that is, which ranges from 390 to 430 nanometer in wavelength, and red wavelengths of light, which wavelength is 670 to 700 nanometer. So chlorophyll absorbs mostly blue wavelength, violet blue wavelength, and red wavelength or red portion of light, which ranges from 670 to 700 nanometer. Now the color of chlorophyll, the chlorophyll reflects the green wavelength or the green wavelength light. Therefore chlorophyll appears or look green, as the leaves contain chlorophyll and chlorophyll reflects the green wavelength light. So therefore the chlorophyll appears or look as green in color. Occurrence. Where does the chlorophyll occur in plants? So chlorophyll occur in unripened fruits, herbaceous stems. Herbaceous stems means non-woody stems, and of course in the green leaves. Now coming into types of chlorophyll, there are various types of chlorophyll. The first one is chlorophyll A. The chlorophyll A is the most abundant and most important photosynthetic pigment. It is universal in all autotrophs, means it is found in all autotrophs, in all green plants except bacteria. So it is universal. Universal in all autotrophs means that it is found or it occurs or it is present in all photosynthesizing plants except bacteria, found in all green plants and green algae. Second type of chlorophyll is chlorophyll B. it is found in higher plants, that is embryophytes. Embryophytes means the word phyte means plant and embryo means a multicellular organism in early stages of development. Embryophytes, so embryophytes means embryo forming plants. Embryo forming plants. So chlorophyll B is found in higher plants, embryophytes and green algae. And the chlorophyll C, D and E, they are found in various groups of algae. While the bacteriochlorophyll, as the name indicates, that it is found only in bacteria. Now coming into the structure of chlorophyll, the chlorophyll consists of two parts, that is the head and tail. Now if you look into this diagram shows the structure of chlorophyll, and as we studied that chlorophyll consists of two parts, that is one part is known as head, porphyrin ring. The head is actually a porphyrin ring head, and the other part is tail, or also known as pytol chain. So the chlorophyll consists of two parts, the head and tail, right? What is head? The head consists of, if you look into the structure, this is head from here to this point, this is head. So the head consists of four pyrrole rings. The head consists of four pyrrole rings. This ring is known as pyrrole ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pyrrole ring. Pyrrole. The head consists of 1, 2, 3, 4 pyrrole rings attached to a central magnesium atom. Attached to a central magnesium atom. The head consists of four pyrrole rings attached to a central magnesium atom, collectively known as porphyrin head. Collectively known as porphyrin head. All these four pyrrole rings attached to a central magnesium atom are collectively known as porphyrin head. So once again, the head consists of four pyrrole rings attached to a central magnesium atom, collectively known as porphyrin ring or porphyrin head, right? The head is polar and hydrophilic. This head is polar and hydrophilic, and the head is attached, and this head is attached to the thalakite membrane, to the surface of thalakite membrane. The head is attached to the surface of thalakite membrane. So once again, the head contains a central magnesium atom. The head contains a central magnesium atom to which are attached four nitrogen rings. Four nitrogen rings called pyrrole rings. The four rings, that is tetrapyrrole rings, are collectively called, these four rings are tetrapyrrole rings collectively called porphyrin. This is head. It is polar and the head is polar and hydrophilic and attached to the surface of thalakite membrane. Now coming into the second part of chlorophyll, that is the tail. The tail consists of, if you look into this diagram, the tail consists of a long hydrocarbon chain attached to one of the pyrrole ring. The tail consists of a long hydrocarbon chain. This is hydrocarbon chain CH2 and so on, attached to one of the pyrrole ring. So the tail is attached to this four pyrrole ring of the porphyrin head. It is also known as pytol chain. The tail is nonpolar and therefore hydrophobic, and the tail is embedded in the thalakite membrane. As I mentioned earlier that the head is attached to the surface of thalakite membrane, while the tail is embedded in the thalakite membrane, as it is lipophilic, lipid loving, because it is hydrophobic, it is nonpolar and hydrophobic. So this is the structure of chlorophyll, showing two parts, the head and tail. And so once again, to summarize quickly, the chlorophyll consists of two parts, the head and tail. The head is polar and hydrophilic in nature. The head is attached to the surface of thallic membrane. The head actually consists of 4 pyrrole rings or 4 nitrogen containing rings known as tetrapyrrole rings attached to a central magnesium atom. It is collectively known as porphyrin head or porphyrin ring. On the other hand, the tail consists of a long hydrocarbon chain attached to one of the pyrrole ring, that is to the 4 number pyrrole ring known as pyrrole chain. The tail is non-polar and therefore hydrophobic, and the tail is embedded in the thallic membrane. Now, chlorophyll A and B are the most important photosynthetic pigments, and the chemical structures of both chlorophyll A and B are well established, and its chemical formula are the chemical or molecular formula of chlorophyll A is that C55 carbon atoms, H72, O5, N4 and magnesium Mg, while chlorophyll B formula is C55 H70. Note the difference, here is H72 hydrogen 72, here is O5 in chlorophyll A, and here the 6 oxygen atoms O6, N4 and Mg. The two chlorophylls are different from each other because chlorophyll A molecule has a methyl group, CH3 group, while the chlorophyll B molecule has CHO aldehyde group. The difference between chlorophyll A and B is that chlorophyll A has methyl group while chlorophyll B has aldehyde group. Now if you look into this diagram, let's suppose it is the structure of chlorophyll A. So chlorophyll A has methyl group attached to carbon number 3 of 2 pyrrole ring. Chlorophyll A has methyl group CH3 group attached to carbon number 3 in pyrrole ring 2, and in case of chlorophyll B, the methyl group is replaced by aldehyde group, and the chlorophyll is formed from a matter called protochlorophyll in light. The chlorophyll is formed from protochlorophyll in light. Now coming into the second type of photosynthetic pigments, that is carotenoids, which are also known as accessory pigments. The carotenoids include carotenes, which are orange red pigments, and xanthophyll yellow pigment. Now function or role of carotenoids. The carotenoids play 2 important roles. The first is the carotenoids absorb light and transfer light energy to chlorophyll A, which initiates light reaction. That is the first step of photosynthesis. Therefore, carotenoids are also known as accessory pigments or helping pigments, as they absorb light and transfer light energy to chlorophyll A, which initiates or starts light reaction. The second function is that carotenoids also protect chlorophyll from intense light by absorbing and dissipating excessive light energy. How? Protect chlorophyll from intense light by how? By absorbing and dissipating excessive light energy rather than transferring energy to chlorophyll. In this way, carotenoids protect chlorophyll from intense light. This function is called photoprotection. Carotenoids also protect the chlorophyll A molecule from oxidation by singlet oxygen by atomic oxygen produced in light reaction. As you know that atomic oxygen is very reactive and is capable of oxidizing the organic compounds such as chlorophyll. As you know that atomic oxygen is very reactive and is capable of oxidizing the organic compound chlorophyll, therefore making chlorophyll unfit or damaging chlorophyll. So Carotenoids protect the chlorophyll A molecule from oxidation by atomic or singlet oxygen produced in light reaction. So this is all about photosynthetic pigments, the two types of photosynthetic pigments, chlorophyll and carotenoids. Thank you.